What would a united European military look like? It's a hypothetical dream for many and a potential nightmare for some. After centuries of fighting, with the worst destruction coming in the Second World War, many have wondered if Europe could ever forge a united military. Even France's president, Emmanuel Macron, floated the idea.
On ne protégera pas les Européens si on ne décide pas d'avoir une vraie armée européenne. Face à la Russie qui est à nos frontières et qui a montré qu'elle pouvait être menaçante, moi je veux construire un vrai dialogue de sécurité avec la Russie, qui est un pays que je respecte, qui est européen.
But if history is any guide, a united European force could stay just a dream. A recently leaked EU report indicates that the bloc has failed to make progress in establishing a joint military pact. Back in 2018, 25 EU members launched the Permanent Structured Cooperation Programme, or PESCO, to jointly develop defence capabilities and make them available for EU military operations. But a report obtained by Politico basically summarises that so far there's been very little action to achieve that goal. And this wasn't the first attempt at establishing a European military force. In the early 1950s, then French Prime Minister René Pleven proposed the European Defence Community, which included a common budget, institutions, and an army. But due to political disagreements, the plan was never realised. Since then, a number of initiatives have been launched to strengthen European defence, including the European Defence Fund, which aims to pay for military projects and research. And then there's PESCO.
Today this dream becomes reality. We are launching Permanent Structured Cooperation, so-called PESCO, which is a practical expression of our will to build European defence.
Throughout its history, the EU's main focus has been integration. They've managed to establish economic, political, and social ties, and for some, the next step is to create a joint European military. If that were to happen, here's what it could look like. If EU countries were to combine their current defence budgets, their total military expenditure would be $270 billion. That's a healthy second only to the US's $778 billion. In terms of manpower, a combined EU military force would be the world's largest at 3.8 million military personnel. That's well ahead of the current largest military, China, and other powers like the US and Russia. But there's already something today that looks like a hypothetical European military. It's called NATO. The vast majority of EU states, 21 out of the 27, are NATO members, and they're able to utilize the bloc's advanced military technology and economic resources. They also have the power to trigger NATO's collective defense clause, where an attack on one nation is an attack on all. Both the EU and NATO stress how essential this relationship is.
Our security is interconnected, and we face a range of unprecedented challenges. Separately, neither NATO nor the European Union can fully address them.
Even though the EU does not have a centralized military, Article 42 of the Treaty on the European Union states that EU members must support each other militarily for defense purposes if one of them is attacked. It was invoked following the November 2015 terrorist attacks in Paris, which then French President François Hollande said was an attack against Europe, not just France. Currently, the only forces representing the EU as a whole are called battle groups. They comprise of 1,500 to 2,000 multinational soldiers and are deployed for non-offensive purposes like humanitarian and peacekeeping missions.
Well, actually, when you look at the battle groups from a military perspective, they're ready to go. It's just a rapid reaction for a crisis, and an expected crisis. It's an issue of financial means.
For years, many have said that the EU should not rely entirely on NATO for its security, echoing French President Emmanuel Macron. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has also called for more independence when it comes to defense.
Aber wir sollten, das sage ich sehr bewusst auch aus der Entwicklung der letzten Jahre, wir sollten an der Vision arbeiten, eines Tages auch eine echte europäische Armee zu schaffen.
However, others question the intentions of rivaling an established group like NATO. Latvia and Poland see the idea as pointless and nothing but a duplicate. It's especially a major concern for Eastern European countries that see the Atlantic Alliance as crucial to fending off Russian aggression. The UK is also a staunch opponent of a European military, but following Brexit, the idea of a collective European defence force was revived, which brings us back to PESCO, which was established within a year after Brexit, and we know how that's going. Many attempts to establish a single European military force have always fallen short. Perhaps the creation of an EU army will remain just a dream, to the frustration of many, but also a delight for some.